everyone, hello Booktube. I have always loved Booktube and I've always wanted to join Booktube. So I have decided to change my channel from everything that I make to especially book related content. With that being said, I would probably include my lifestyle into the books that I read, and I hope if you are new to this part of the channel, so I hope you are not new to Booktube. Booktube is a part of YouTube where people love to talk about the books that they love, and I think it's very interesting and fascinating, and it is a community that I have watched for like the past 5 years probably. Since lockdown hit, I kind of got to know about this part of YouTube, and since then I have always wanted to be a part of it, but I've never gotten the chance to, and I've always been kind of afraid because I have not nearly read as many books as all of the other people on here have read, but I have read a generous amount of books, and I would love to share them with you. And even better that I have more books to explore in my lifetime, because there are so many great books out there and which I know that I'm going to love so much, and I would get to experience it with Booktube community. If there are people who subscribes to the channel, I would love to welcome each and every single one of you, and if you would love to join this community, please feel free to subscribe. And if you have a friend who would like to talk to me, would like to listen to me talk about books and ramble about books, and I hope you share it with them. It would be really nice gesture for them and for me too, and I'm grateful. So I have watched Carrie from Carrie Can Read do the Booktube tag from like almost 5 years ago, and I have found the questions from her video very interesting, so I thought that I would answer her book tag videos, because book tag questions, I should rather say. It is the Booktube newbie tag. Can you see that I'm very anxious about filming this video? I'm generally an anxious person, but when I film my videos, I am not really. I have made videos related to books before, but they were kind of mixed with all of the other like my family things and travel things included. But now, from now on, no videos are going to be without a mention of a book, so I hope that's alright with you. And I would also love to share my studies, because studies and books go hand in hand, so I'm excited about that part as well. So without any further ado, let's just jump to the questions. Number one is why I started this channel. It's kind of, I have already answered this question from rambling this long. I have always wanted to, so I'll keep this answer short. I have always wanted to be a part of this community, Booktube community, and some of my favorite Booktubers are Emmy and her friend Caroline Mary Reads, and Emmy, her name is Emma, and I love her videos the most. and I used to watch Jack Edwards videos as well when I was like away from home, and I was watching a Jack Edwards video. I remember in my hostel in the college, and someone just walked by and was like, "What are you watching?" Like, we had a conversation, we bonded over like what kind of booktube YouTube content we watch, and it was nice. And now my top 3 booktube channel would be Emmy. I have always loved Emma and her content, and second would be probably Sean McComb, because it's so weird and it's quirky and it's so good. And obviously I am borrowing the questions from Carrie Can Read, so obviously Carrie Can Read is a good but she and we don't really have very many books that would interest us the same, so I think that's why. And so there's another channel called CSOP, and there's like Charles in it in those videos, and I don't know what he is going to post next, hopefully soon, but he doesn't post very frequently on his channel, so I don't know. I hope he posts soon. I really enjoy his videos and his unique takes on the books that he reads, so I absolutely enjoy the community, and I would absolutely love to bring India on the booktube community. I feel like there are Indian booktubers, but I have not watched any of them, so if you know any Indian booktubers, you can feel free to suggest to me, and I will definitely watch them. The second question is what I can bring to booktube. What I can bring to booktube would probably be some Bengali literature, some Indian literature, and my inclination towards literature from around the world. I think that I would love to explore the classics and also some of the new releases. I am very particular about the books that I love and the books that I admire, so it is very easy for me to choose a book to read. Like, from the description, from the vibe, and from the atmosphere, and from the way people describe books and book reviewers review books, I can understand if I'm going to like this book or not. And even it is also not a question of like or loving the book, it is a question of whether I think the book is important for me to read as a person, as a human on the planet Earth. Because there are some books which are really important for everyone to read if they love to read. So I am in search of those kinds of books, and also some unique, some very unique books I would love to explore and study, because even if you find the rarest book on the planet, someone would have probably read it, and I just feel like that's very interesting. And the books that I have grown up listening to or reading, those are the books that most of the booktube community have no idea about, because they are not from India and they are not familiar with Indian, and rather I should say Bengali literature. So I would love to bring those, and I'm sure that those have English translations, so I would love to bring that to booktube, and I hope people allow me to do so, because if people are not going to watch it, I don't know what is the point of making them. But I'm hopeful that people will probably watch it someday. Question number 3. Why do I love reading? This is the most important question. I like this question very much. I have always loved reading since I was little, but my love for reading has come from my love for stories, and especially listening to stories. And I have always loved listening to stories from my grandmothers and from my uncles and from my mother before going to bed. And I used to be like glued together with my paternal grandmother always, and and I would like know all of her stories growing up in Bangladesh, and what her father used to do, and how they moved here and like built this house, and how they came about to do business here in India, and what it was like during like the independence and the partition and all of the horrors of the time of independence, and all of the things going about religion and all these things. And I found it really fascinating to listen to her stories. Some were very silly, some were very serious in topic, and I enjoyed all of it. So my love for it comes from those stories, like real life stories. So I enjoy mostly real life inspired stories, which is absolutely incredible and absolutely important for everyone to read and learn about our history and stuff like that. So, and then I was quite studious in like my kindergarten years, so I would used to read like poems for kids and things like that. I was to recite some poems for kids, so my love for reading came from there. So when I turned like 11, I think, I had like 3 huge collections of the whole of Sharatchandra Chattopadhyay books. If you don't know, he is one of the greatest writers of Bengali literature, but I was a little too young to read them at 11. If you have read any of his stories and listened to any of his stories, you would know that 11 is very young to read any of his stories. So I waited like 2 to 3 years before reading his stories for the first time. So I was probably about 13 when I read it, but still I was too young to read them. So I read it when I grew up, and then I was able to understand some of it. even now I feel like as I grow up to be in my 20s, I think that those stories and those events would make more sense to me as I read them now. And as I went to college, this is the third installment and the last installment of me loving reading so much. So when I went to college after 1 year of lockdown, and the first semester was still like semi-online, I did not like that at all. I just wanted to meet like new friends that I made online, and I saw them for the first time. Now it has been almost 4.5 years. Oh my god, it feels like so long ago, but it's like, no, it's 3.5 years ago. I can't get it. But so then I was about to move from here, my hometown, to the city. So for my studies, for my undergraduate degree. So I thought that for some time I used to like travel from home to Kolkata a lot. So I used to take some books with me to study on the train, and it was amazing. Some book got like water damage from rain while I was reading in the train. So it was amazing. I feel like those were the times that I longed for the most. And then I picked up like international literature for the first time, because I am going to college for the first time, so I have to pick up something new. So I was like making new friends, reading new books, international authors. Like the book that I picked up first was The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I have read Oscar Wilde when I was younger as well, but his stories were like made for children, so of course you wouldn't read The Picture of Dorian Gray when you are a young child. And I still haven't finished The Picture of Dorian Gray. You can see there's still a bookmark inside the book, and I have read like only half of it, and I haven't gotten to the rest of it. I'm terrified of that book, let me tell you. The prose is so beautifully written, and Oscar Wilde is a genius in the story is genius, and I kind of know where the story is going. If you don't know where the story is going, it's going to be a spoiler, and I don't know, there are spoilers all over the internet, so I already know what's going to happen. I have been spoiled for the rest of the book, but I feel like it is so haunting for me to continue to read the book. So please convince me to read the rest of the book, because I, for the life of me, cannot bring courage to continue that book. But I read Jane Austen. I plan on reading Jane Austen. I haven't read I am getting so confused. I have read Jane Austen, at least 2 of her books, Pride and Prejudice and Emma. And Emma would be my personal favorite, though I thoroughly enjoyed Pride and Prejudice. I can't choose between the two. I haven't read the rest of her stories. I haven't read Jane Eyre. That's what I was about to say, because I am very inclined to read the Broad Sisters novels as well. So I will probably read Jane Eyre this year. So I'm really interested about that. That's such a long answer for that. So let's move to the 4th question. What book or series got me into reading? From when I was younger, it would be the poems of Sukumar Rai that got me into reading poems, and would be like, there's a radio channel called like Radio Mirchi, and they have like stories that they read every Sunday, and they're called Sunday Suspense. And previously, when I was younger, they would only tell stories, like horror stories, from various different authors from India specifically, and especially Bengali authors, because they would recite stories in Bengali. So I quite enjoyed listening to those stories. So, and eventually they would go and read like detective novels. That's how I got into like Bomkesh series and Feluda series. So what Harry Potter series is for the world, the Bomkesh series is for me. If you want to read it, I am sure there are English translations of it, and the essence of Bengal at that time, so around independence, would be lost, I feel. But you can get the stories, because I am like the most interested to spread awareness about Bomkesh stories, because I love Bomkesh stories, and it is by Sharadindu Bandyopadhyay. He is phenomenal, and what is Sherlock Holmes to the world? Bookish is to me. So anyways, please read and feel free to read. And in college, which book got me into reading was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, because I fell in love with classics and classic literature from reading that book, and I continued to read more, but at a very slow pace, because I also had college going on. I also had my health concerns going on, so I did not read a lot. But it got me into reading, got me back into reading as an adult, so I'm thankful for it. Next question: what challenges will you face? I don't know what this question means. Starting Booktube, okay. What challenges will I face? I don't really know what challenges I will face, but as I mentioned before, that there are so many other booktubers on YouTube who have read like thousands of books in their lifetime, which I have not. So that's a slight disadvantage for me. I guess I don't get a lot of references when people talk about their favorite books and films that they loved and they grew up watching, and like they would be like, don't you know this? And I'm like, I have no idea what you are talking about. So please feel free to explain it to me kindly. So I feel like those kinds of things are going to be difficult, but other than that, I don't really know. I also think that there are so many booktube channels again, so I don't know if people are going to love watching my videos about books, as there are already so much content on Booktube already. So I hope people give me a chance to be a part of the community, and people correct me if I'm wrong about something, or if they want me to improve something about how I make videos and things like that. And I will take notes from it, and I will try my best to correct anything that I can with my limited budget to start this channel. So last question: what books do you like to read? What books do I like to read? I have already answered. Classics. I would love to get into Dostoevsky. I can't pronounce his name, I'm sorry, but I have read White Nights by him because it is the shortest one, and I have also read the Meek one by him, but I was lost in the story, so I stopped reading it like 2 years ago or something like that. But I would love to get into like the bigger classics. I said before that I would love to read Jane Eyre this year. I would love to read Wuthering Heights this year. I would love to get into gothic stories, because I would love to read like stories like The Phantom of the Opera and Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I would love to get into those during the autumn season, the spooky season, as you will say. I would love to read those books. And I would love to read books about existence, like Kafka or Roca. I would love to read Roca's poems. I would love to get into Emily Dickinson, her poems. I would love to get into Virginia Woolf's stories, and I think like I'm going to enjoy these kinds of stories the most. So I'm not sure though, but I think people will influence me into reading the books that they love as well. So I would also love to read children's books and middle grade books because I have a fond place for them, because when I was young I did not really get into those books. So as an adult I would love to be a child and teenager again and live through those essences of those books. So I hope you got a bit of introduction from me in this Booktube community, and I hope that you like, share and subscribe to this channel and tell me a little bit about yourself. And let's do a question at the end of the video where you can tell me, this is an introduction, so you can tell me your hobbies other than reading books. So obviously your hobby would be reading books if you are here watching this video. So, and if you feel like you can convince me to read the best book that you've ever read in your life, and I would try to read it obviously and give you my feedback on how I think about the book. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you read amazing books in this year, and I hope that I will see you very soon in the next video, very soon. So goodbye.